Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining us for today's Annex Cloud Partner Lunch and Learn webinar, how to help clients increase lifetime customer value with loyalty, referral marketing, and user-generated content solutions. My name is Chris Bechtel. I am the VP of Growth here at Annex Cloud. Thanks for joining me today. Later on in the webinar, I will have Steve Swain join us, who is the VP of Channels and Partners. Many of you may know him already. Great guy. You should meet him if you don't know him already. So again, thanks for joining me. We'll make this as interactive of a webinar as possible. A little bit about Annex Cloud. As many of you know, we do loyalty, but we also do referral marketing and user-generated content solutions all in one configurable platform. So my goal today is to kind of walk you guys through some of the key features of the Annex Cloud platform, all about customer loyalty, referral marketing, user-generated content, some of our competitive advantages, our product roadmap, some industry trends, some highlights, and some of what we're doing in partner marketing with Annex Cloud, and of course some Q&A. So welcome all of you. I want to make sure that you guys can hear me. So if you can hear me all right, please go ahead and type into the chat just so I make sure that my audio is coming in loud and clear. Also would love to find out from all of you who are attending. Any of you who have already had some experience with Annex Cloud would be great to know, so I can kind of tailor the presentation. How many of you guys are familiar with what Annex Cloud has been doing, or how many of you are new to the platform? So any insight would be great. So you can go ahead and type that into chat. And again, we'll try and keep this interactive if possible. We will have some Q&A at the end here. We're going to run like maybe about 40 minutes or so. We'll try and make this as an efficient use of your time as possible. My goal really is to help you guys understand the value that Annex Cloud can bring and how we can help, create some win-win relationships with you guys and some of the clients and customers that you have already, right? So we'll go ahead and dive into this. So first up, really, these are some key highlights. Obviously, our platform is super configurable, and I think that's one of the key value propositions with Annex Cloud, and one of the big differences across many of the other platforms that are out there in both loyalty, referral marketing, and UGC. And I think that's what we're seeing, of course. As many of you know, there are providers that just focus on user-generated content, or just focus on referral marketing, or just focus on loyalty. And one of the powerful differentiators of Annex Cloud is that we can configure a solution that ties all of those things together. And of course, our loyalty platform is really best in class, right? So there are an extensive set of features. We can configure a loyalty solution across a bunch of different use cases, and I'll talk to you guys about that in a moment. But here I wanted to highlight, a couple of key features that we've, recently rolled out, most recently anyway. And it's just so you can get an idea of how we can kind of configure the solution to meet a specific use case. So one of them is a receipt data aggregator. And really this is for a manufacturer who may not sell direct, right? So they don't have a direct relationship with a customer, i.e., either in store, they might sell through distributors or through other retailers, such as Olympus Cameras, and I'll talk about them momentarily. But there may be others that are selling through a distributor, so you don't have a direct relationship with a customer, but you want to be able to connect with the customer. You want to be able to ultimately reward customers for loyalty points. So this is one of the really unique features of Annex Cloud is we have what we call receipt data aggregator. So what this means is a customer can purchase something at a retailer and then take a picture of their receipt. And Annex Cloud will then they can submit that via text, email, multiple channels back to the manufacturer, right? So they can then get rewarded for those points. For purchasing that product at a retailer. We can then identify the product, identify the purchase date, identify the location date, and then reward that customer for making those purchases. So it provides a manufacturer with some real value in terms of being able to get that data, which is critical, that they don't have, and maintain that relationship with that customer, again, which they don't have, right? Often we all see those sort of, product registration cards that come with products when we buy them from a retailer. Well, this is, that's one of those strategies, and how do we connect with a customer, right? The next piece of another use case, again, which I think is critical today to go beyond really just points for purchase, is really about rewarding customers for taking actions that are meaningful, right? And that's really how at Annex Cloud we look at it, is what are customers doing today, and what do we want them to be doing? And so one of the things that we want them to be doing are such as, writing a review, referring friends, signing up for a newsletter, filling in more profile data, attending an event, visiting a store. So doing many more things besides just purchasing. So the Annex Cloud platform can, be configured, and this is what we call social and behavioral loyalty. So we can reward, customers' behavior. And that's, I think, is what's really critical, is we really talk about to customers, and this is one of the ways in which you can start a conversation with customers is, what are the customers doing today, and what do you want them to be doing, right? Because at the end of the day, if we want to increase, lifetime value or repeat purchase rate or average order value, if we could get our customers just to make one more purchase or to refer some friends or to take an action that's meaningful, it can be super beneficial to the bottom line. So another couple of use cases for loyalty that we're seeing some, real interest in, for example, Golf Now is one of our customers, and we have a paid membership loyalty program. So what this means is customers pay a membership fee to be part of the program, and that program provides them with a whole bunch of benefits, discounts, perks, all kinds of other benefits, right? Similar to Amazon Prime, right? That's really a paid membership loyalty program, right? Where you pay every year an annual fee to be a member of Prime, and you get perks, rewards like free shipping, you get discounts at Whole Foods, all kinds of things, right? So this is the same type of thing. And really some of the benefits is it really does guarantee more immediate loyalty program ROI, because of course people are paying for it, right? So you get so much faster ROI out of the program. And it also really strengthens those relationships with some of your top tier customers, because they're going to be much more incentivized to be, active and be in the game, because they've got, skin in the game, right? They're not just a passive member of a points only loyalty program where they only really care when, they make a purchase and that's about it, right? So again, this is just an example of how we can configure our platform to a specific use case that's applicable to a specific, type of business that's really, has a goal in engaging their top tier customers, and a paid loyalty program is a good fit. Another key feature that we've rolled out recently is, of course, data. And as all of you know, analytics and data are critical. And Annex Cloud captures data across a whole ton of different touch points, right, across the buyer journey. And this is super valuable. For many of you who are our partners, we, of course, are partnered with all of the leading e-com platforms, ESPs, as well as a number of other providers. So thanks to all of you who are listening, as well as, of course, partnered with, all of the leading agencies in each of those ecosystems. And of course, all of you are quite well aware of the value of data. And so we can both bring in data as well as provide data back. So in many cases, back to our ESP, so we can create and allow those ESPs to create, much more sophisticated customer segmentation. So we provide a lot of recency, frequency, and monetary RFM purchase data. Is some of the most critical components of this latest feature. So it allows really sophisticated campaign targeting, right? Because we all know it's about delivering the right message at the right time to the right person. And so, of course, more and more data has exploded today, and it's critical for us as a customer marketing platform to be able to provide that data back into our partners, back to our customers, so they can see it in a dashboard that's easily actionable, so that you can take as a customer, so your customers can take, real action to create very targeted segments and create very targeted offers to those segments that will deliver a return. So this is just a couple of highlights. So the other key component of our platform is the referral marketing cloud. And so I wanted to highlight a couple of the latest features of the referral marketing cloud, and this is an omni-channel referrals. So again, one of the use cases, of course, we have customers that are omni-channel, both online and offline. So they have brick and mortar stores, they may also sell online. So in this particular case, this is an example of what we can do with referral marketing is, again, there's a real value, of course, as we all know, it costs a whole lot less to retain a customer than acquire a new one. It also is a very effective customer acquisition strategy to get existing customers to refer others, right? So of course, you may have clients that, again, are looking to acquire new customers cost effectively, right? We all know we tend to trust our peers more than we trust advertising. And one of the headlines of our webinar today was really about retention and engagement in the age of distraction. And what we kind of mean by that is, as marketers, we are continuously competing for eyeballs among more and more others that are trying to attract those same eyeballs. So the cost of attention is really rising, right? The cost of ad spend because of limited inventory is higher and higher. So therefore, a very effective strategy for customer acquisition is to leverage referrals. So we want to make that super easy. So obviously we can provide the very basic refer a friend, get 20% off, give 20% off, and get 20% off. Give $20, get $20. But you can also do a lot more than that. We can tie referral marketing to a rewards and loyalty, so you can refer customers and also get loyalty points. Those loyalty points might also be experiential rewards, so not just monetary rewards, right? Now back to actually sharing the referral, we make it super easy by providing an actual barcode. So then when you get a referred customer, I'm referred by my friend. Now I actually have a barcode that I can bring into the store, display it on my phone, and it makes it super easy for me to redeem. So we provide a whole set of really comprehensive features to make it really easy to share. Of course, we can allow people to share referrals across a whole bunch of different channels, email, social media. You can share direct links and direct codes. It's very integrated, easily tracked. Of course, fraud is a big component that we detect. So all of these components can be easily managed in one singular dashboard. So again, we try and make it super easy. And obviously, if any of you have questions, feel free to type them into the chat. Of course, we'll have a little time for Q&A at the end of the webinar here. But obviously, feel free if I'm going through something, feel free to type into the chat here if you have any questions. But I wanted to now kind of move on to our third, major cloud, which is the user-generated content cloud. And here I just wanted to highlight a case study from one of our customers, which is Olympus Cameras. And in this particular use case for user-generated content, which, to be clear, user-generated content includes visual commerce, which is shoppable Instagram, which is also what you'll see here if you visit the Olympus Cameras gallery. This is 12,000 photos and more collected from more than 3,000 photographers. So it's user-generated content. Obviously, their business goal is Olympus wanting real customers to showcase to other customers the quality of photography that you can do with Olympus cameras, right? So now if I'm considering making a purchase at Olympus, of a specific Olympus camera, I can see in the gallery the types of photos that were taken with it. I can then click on that image and I can actually either find a retailer or make a purchase right from the site. Right? So again, as we've seen, typically user-generated content tends to impact conversion rates, right? And that's really what the goal is if I see a customer and somebody else like me who's had a great success with a product, I'm going to be more likely to buy that product, right? So we make it super easy. It's seamless. So it's seamlessly integrated into the Olympus Cameras site. There is full moderation and control, so they ensure only quality, legitimate content is on their site. It's then easily tagged by product so that, again, a customer can easily buy right from the site or find a retailer near them. And so really what we feel is it's really about building a customer community with this visual commerce. So again, this is one use case, and this is the visual commerce component. The other components that we have under user-generated content, of course, are also ratings and reviews and Q&A. And both of those are also super powerful. They absolutely match feature to feature to all of the other leading ratings and reviews platforms in the marketplace. And they can be made that much more impactful by tying them to loyalty, which we've been doing at Annex Cloud for now half a dozen years. It's quite sophisticated. So what we find, again, is trying to incentivize customers to submit a rating or a review or upload an image. So our ratings and reviews and visual commerce and Q&A systems can be that much more effective because we're really incentivizing customers to be engaged and to give us that type of feedback as a retailer or a brand that's going to ultimately drive conversions. So sort of why Annex Cloud? I've been talking here, I think, about a couple of these key value props, but just to sum it up, is that it's a unified marketing platform. So again, we can configure a solution that's going to meet a specific business goal and for a specific industry. So that means for loyalty, we can do omni-channel loyalty. We can do manufacturer loyalty. We can work in B2B loyalty, right? So all of these are components that we can configure a solution, and we can tie them together. So we can tie referral marketing into loyalty. We can tie user-generated content to loyalty. So again, bringing those things together, we can track the data on all of those actions and reward those actions. However, at the same time, you may have customers that just need to start with one thing. They might just need user-generated content. So there's a real strong value proposition to really starting with something very simple, very straightforward, right, that drives immediate value, and then they can expand, right, depending on where they are, if they're re-platforming, right, or if they're in the growth stage as a customer, you know, they may have a different need and they may need to start with one or more of these solutions. But the point being is that they can then expand by adding something at a later time to get more value out of it. So I think there's a real strong value proposition to tying this together and being able to see all of the data in one unified dashboard. The second big component is a lot of our other competitors out there don't have terrific customer support and success, and we provide a very high level of customer success, but really from strategy to best practices. We'll work with all of our partners very closely to really create win-win situations for our customers. So everyone looks good and the business value is created. So it's not like we just have some offshore customer support team. No, every customer gets a dedicated customer success team member who's really well versed in the value of Annex Cloud and can actually really help a customer, you know, figure out how best to get the most out of the platform, and even how to structure communication, how to structure a loyalty program from the right set of tiers, what are the right types of rewards, when to promote those. So not just, you know, strategy on implementation, but how to continuously get maximum value out of the program. And that's a real big, I think, differentiator. So again, I think where are we going? You know, product direction wise, as we continue to enhance the platform so it can meet multiple use cases. So again, our core tends to be, you know, large brands and retailers and fashion apparel, cosmetics, consumer electronics, all of those types of typical retailers and brands. However, as I mentioned, we also have loyalty programs and solutions for manufacturers, as well as CPG, who may not, again, sell direct to customers, as well as B2B. So all of these are to give you a sense for the types of use cases that we can deliver value for. Here's some of the big, trends that I kind of alluded to earlier on the webinar, and it's really what we see. And I think all of us as consumers ourselves, realize that we're getting bombarded by, again, so many marketing messages, so many marketers and brands trying to compete for mind share. And I think the other big thing is so that customers are distracted, but they also have an increasing expectations, right? They expect, because they expect offers to be more personalized to them. They expect things to be of much more relevancy to them, right? They expect the customer experience, the user experience, to be of high quality. So I think we are facing customers that are increasingly distracted, that are harder to reach, that have increasingly higher expectations. So of course it continues, how do we deal with that? And our view at Annex Cloud is really about, again, trying to deliver as high quality customer interaction as possible. And that's really the value of being able to take this data that we're able to collect, feed it back in so that we can ultimately create compelling offers that will guide customers to take the actions that are going to be the most meaningful to the brand or retailer, and reward those actions through not just points, but experiential rewards. This is what we're really seeing, is that beyond just points, we want to reward customers with rewards that are experiential, that might even go deeper into allowing them to experience the brand. For example, recently we rolled out a loyalty program for Sugarfina. If many of you have gone there, you have kids that have gone there, you might, amazing candy. And so what happens is, of course, not just getting points for purchase, but their members of their rewards program can get bento boxes. So then if you get to a certain tier, you get a free sample of candy, and maybe it's a new product sample. So it allows Sugarfina to not only reward their best customers, but also share some new products with those customers. And so that ideally, again, then maybe those customers will then want to buy that product or write a rating or review or submit some user-generated content on that product. At the highest level of their program, you get an in-store shopping experience. So again, they're rewarding not just points for purchases, but experiential rewards that allow their best customers to get a deeper connection to the brand. So again, our answer here is about tailoring loyalty programs that deliver rewards that customers actually want. Then, in terms of user-generated content, to be able to really incentivize customers to submit that user-generated content that can be super valuable in improving conversion rates and in really getting customers deeper connection to the brand. And ultimately then collecting all of this data across all these touch points that can be provided back to our partners, because everyone is moving, closer and further along with AI, of course, and I see the real value of AI and its ability to find patterns in data to be able to surface the best customers that can be really targeted, right? So ultimately finding a very finite set of customers to be able to deliver the right message at the right time to the right set of customers. So that's where we see things are going. Here's a highlight of some of our key wins. Obviously, some of these big brands, eGallery, Volcom, HP, TaylorMade, and of course, I mentioned Sugarfina. You can see some examples of some of their in-store promotions for our loyalty program. So this is just a couple of the highlights again, so you can see sort of the depth and breadth of the types of customers that we're working with. So again, we'd love to work together, obviously, and some of you who are on this webinar, again, thanks to all of you we've worked with in the past to do co-marketing. But here at Annex Cloud, because I'm the VP of Growth, that means marketing is under me. We have a great partner marketing team, and we would love to work with all of you in a variety of ways. We're doing events, co-sponsored events. We've done co-hosted webinars. We produce product collateral, co-branded case studies, and of course some content exchange. So if you have any partner marketing ideas that you think will help you, we'd love to hear from you. You can contact Aaron Duff, who is the partner marketing manager at Annex Cloud, at eduff@annexcloud.com, of course, to discuss any opportunities, or of course your partner manager, or who Steve Swain, who is the VP of Partners and Channels, directly to talk to us about, hey, what's the program that you most need that's going to help you to help educate your customers, because we'd love to do so. If there's any content that you find would be valuable for us to produce, we also have a content marketing team that's producing a whole ton of great content. Love to collaborate with any of you on some content that we think will help you educate the market on best practices and how they can get the most out of Annex Cloud and deliver customer marketing results. So I'd love to dive into some Q&A. I'll see if I can bring Steve on, who may have had, I don't know if any of you have had any challenges with audio. Hopefully you've been able to. Sometimes these webinar platforms can be a little challenging from an audio perspective. But I want to see if Steve, by chance, and it looks like—
Hi, Chris. Can you hear me?
Oh, yes. Hey, Steve. Welcome.
I finally got on, so I'm here if I can help with any questions and answers.
Yeah. So I guess, first up, maybe I'd like to ask you a question, Steve. So everybody, I think, many of the folks on the call probably already know you. But, again, for those that don't, maybe you can just, from your point of view, talk to everyone a little bit about sort of, your point of view from Annex Cloud and why we're a great partner.
Sure. So a couple of things. First of all, my name's Steve Swain. I'm the VP of Partners and Alliances. I'm going to cover a couple things. One, we do have a very robust partner program. For those who I have not spoken to or have engaged with, please reach out. I have a list of folks here that have signed up, and I will reach out to you and chat about how we can better partner with your organization. I also want to chat a little bit about, this is our first partner webinar. We're planning on doing this quarter over quarter. Kind of the format is an educational piece, as Chris went through loyalty. As he mentioned, we have loyalty, a referral marketing cloud, and UGC cloud, so we'll probably switch it up every quarter. It's also a format to share with you new features of our cloud stack, just so you know what we can do within those stacks and the competitive advantages, and then obviously events that are open to the partners with respect to co-sponsorships and those types of things. And then, of course, we'd like to share our wins that we see that are significant, quarter over quarter. And Chris showed you a handful of wins that we had just in this past quarter. So that's kind of the format that we're trying to achieve. It's really an informal and informative event for the partners, just to keep you guys up to date on all of the things that are happening here at Annex Cloud. So I hope that helps.
Yeah, that's terrific, Steve. And so we got a couple of questions. First up kind of question is, what kind of resources do we provide, to our partners from partner marketing and sales perspective? So I want to address that real fast. We have a ton of resources on the website, downloadable case studies, white papers. So feel free to, download or leverage any of those things. If you have a specific question or a need about a specific kind of content that you think you might be able to help, again, you can reach out to your partner manager or Steve or Aaron Duff, who is the partner marketing manager, and we can send you some stuff directly. But I encourage any of you to, feel free to visit our blog or our website. We've got a ton of great resources, and some of those things are ultimately super valuable in trying to educate, your end customers. Let's see. So another key question is about, in terms of integration and data. So obviously, we have integrations across, dozens of platforms, all via API. And of course, we provide a whole ton of data back and forth between in many of those integrations. So much of the touch points that are currently occurring, the customer behavior that we're tracking, we can feed back into many of our partners' platforms, so that ultimately, again, the end user customer can take some really meaningful action. So I think that's super critical, and obviously, the more and more data that we collect, the more value that we can, track back to our customers, so they can again take that meaningful action based on that behavior. Let's see. So next question. What have I seen in terms of the most effective partner marketing, strategies? I think what we've seen, kind of the big things, we definitely love doing webinars, but also, of course, there's still, with all of the digital marketing, there's still a tremendous amount of value in in-person events. So I think, we've seen some great success by doing very targeted events, with our partners, in making sure that we get some great quality attendees, we can produce some great quality content, have a thoughtful speaker, provide some value. So we're definitely seen some really great success with being able to do some events with partners, especially, in a very specific target market where there's a high, concentration of good customers in that particular ecosystem. So how about, let's see, another question for Steve is, Steve, what do you see in terms of like the direction in Annex Cloud and our, sort of a strategy with partners? What do you see as terms of how Annex Cloud best provides value to partners?
So good question. So I think a couple of things. When partners look at Annex Cloud, they look at the value add of taking a best-of-breed platform to their customers. So I think when it comes to technology, we're providing something to clients that is kind of a one-stop shop, if you will, knowing that every module within the respective stacks are best-of-breed. And it appears that the partners, when they're recommending solutions, that seems to be a very strong value proposition with respect to technology. So that's one advantage and value add that we bring to the partnership. The second thing is we're very active with respect to working with the partners on driving net new business for both companies. And typically we do that through several types of events. Chris just mentioned some, but we're also seeing, physical events, whether they're, kind of some sort of summit that we put together with a partner that their clients can come in and learn more about, Annex Cloud. So we'd like to invest in those. If there's a kind of a learning platform that the partners want to, organize, we're more than happy to come in and speak. Our CEO from time to time will come in and speak at those summits or events. So we're about providing best of breed to your clients, as well as, for the partners that want to engage and with regards to driving that new business, we certainly have investment dollars that allow us to do that. So if those types of events interest you, again, reach out and we'll discuss that.
That's terrific. And where do you see, in terms of like the industry going, right, Steve? You obviously are out there talking to lots of partners, across ecosystems, that have a lot of different types of customers. Based on what you're hearing and seeing out there, where do you think things are going? over the next few years?
Yeah, so it's a good question. It's a broad question, so I'm going to kind of narrow it down a little bit. So, as partner managers, what we hear in the within the partner community is what's hot and what's not. And when it comes to products, what we see that is gaining a lot of steam, especially this last 2 quarters, is loyalty. For whatever reason, lots and lots of loyalty interest from B2B, B2C, B2B2C. So that seems to be a very, very hot area. The fact that we can socialize loyalty and no one's really doing that gives us a great story to tell, and our partner community a great story to tell. So we see lots and lots of growth and interest and activity in that one particular area. We're also seeing some interest peaking with regards to the entire UGC stack. So clients in the past were typically looking for one solution when it came to UGC, whether it be ratings and reviews, visual commerce, or just Q&A. Now we're seeing clients that just want to go ahead and invest in the entire stack. The fact that we're leader in offering the entire stack is also helpful to positioning our partners competitively within the UGC opportunities. So those are, from a product perspective, those are the types of things that we're seeing when it's related to our platform. Overall industry, there's lots of movement, obviously, recent acquisitions, like Magento and Adobe. Magento wants to go up market. Salesforce is looking to go down market. So we're seeing all kinds of movement there. I don't have anything, concrete that I can share with you. Probably no more than what you guys have heard in the channel. But we do see lots of movement, especially at the e-com platform level. We're seeing at the enterprise, we see end-to-end solutions from a commerce cloud to marketing cloud, which is being offered. In the mid-market, we don't see necessarily an end-to-end solution being offered yet today, but I anticipate that's coming. But yeah, there's various tidbits that we're hearing and seeing in the space. But competitive product positioning, I think Annex Cloud really has the right product at the right time. At this point, it's a matter of awareness and working close with our partners to work on engaging with new opportunities.
That's a great answer, Steve. And I think it's a great place to sort of wrap things up, because I think that's really, for everyone on the call, that's really our big goal here, is what Steve just said, right? Is to, we are really heavily investing in awareness and really heavily investing in building and continuing to build really quality relationships with our partners that create these win-win situations. So we're here to provide you guys with the resources you need to develop opportunities and to work with you to make those a success so everybody wins, right? So again, thanks everybody for joining us today. Stay tuned for future Lunch and Learn webinars. If you have topics of interest, we'd love to hear from you. You can again contact Steve directly at sswain, that's SWAIN, at annexcloud.com. We'll follow up with everyone with an email with a link to this recording so you can download it, share it with others that might have, or review anything you might have missed. Again, so if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to Steve. You can also contact Aaron Duff, who's our partner marketing manager, about any of the resources or assets that we have available for you. So thanks again to everyone for attending today. Stay tuned for our next webinar. And thanks, Steve, for joining us. And have a great day, everybody.